For some reason, I'm not added. There we go. All right. Thank you all for hopping in. As always, no matter how much you prep, and I was prepped for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, Rosie.
Hmm.
Prep for look, and it's still prep for 20 minutes, and look, yeah, still having issues.
Hmm.
First of all, I gotta say, shout out to you. Thank you for your show earlier. Got to hear the whole interview in its entirety, and plus your opinions when it came to the video. I found some shocking things in it as well, just like you. Pretty sure they're the same things, but I can't believe. Um, I can't believe that there's actually people out there. Number one, um, putting the energy out there that she was somehow making it up or lying or and it goes hand in hand with these same people that are still to this moment accusing these family members of being involved, and it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Because when you watch that, when I watched it, I'm sure when other people watched it, it was tough. It was tough to watch. So for people to like be so hell bent on family members being involved in it to the point where they're like gonna sit there and say that Savannah, was pretending and making it up. I mean, do you even have a heart?
I don't know. I mean, that was one of the most heart-wrenching things I've ever seen. And honestly, I understand that it's not impossible for family to be involved, but I think that in this case, nobody has a real basis for saying that. They're just saying it because they heard it somewhere else. And
Well,
yeah.
yeah, because I mean, I remember when Ashley Banfield, um, when she first had her show, and had put he may be a suspect, and then she just kept doubling down for weeks about him. Her source close to the investigation telling her that he was potentially a suspect, and we've covered cases for years now, and we've seen a lot of the very ugly, nasty side of it, whether it's behind the scenes or out there on the YouTube streets. And whenever we've discussed other cases and we've seen what the social media nutballs do to these people, um, it it's sad to see that it's taken place with, because it's like, we never even heard that any of them were persons of interest. Yeah, I remember, when Tommaso's name was first being floated around, and then the bandmates photos came up. We saw the interview of what it's done to Luke. People are still having shows on Luke. It's becoming a cash grab at this point, really. Because like, what, dude, if you sit there and watch Luke's interview, if you have any sleuthing skills at all, you can tell he's being genuine. So to sit there and just milk this and milk it to make it see, oh, I'm digging into this person tonight. It's like, geez, man. Like, what are we doing? Is this even true crime anymore? Or is it just gossip?
I think
Where's
it's
the
worse than
facts?
gossip. I don't even know what the word is, but it's gone beyond that. It's
Where's
bad.
the facts? Where's the facts? Like, it's just like this Tommaso stuff. It's like from day one, I wasn't even gonna even dig into it or report it because I'm like, look, they haven't even been named as a person of interest right now. To sit there and say like the frickin' brother-in-law, the son-in-law is the one that committed this, and to like sit there and throw all these like you heard it on these live call-ins where these people allow these people to just they're not even fact checking the people that are calling in with real facts of the case. Like, no, this couldn't be possible because this and this and this. They're just letting them run free. And I think that's what they're saying when they're talking about how this is ruining the actual investigation, is because this stuff gets put out there. Nobody fact checks themselves. And then next thing you know, you have a situation like Luke. You have a situation like Jeremy from Idaho 4. You have a situation of these different people, some other channel. Oh, that's Brian Koberger called my show. And then look what it did to that guy. I mean, there's so many stories of what it's done. And then you hear these, I mean, hell, these, the 911 calls with Magnolia and JLR, and you got people's freaking phone numbers not even being redacted from stuff. And it's like, do you not know what these social media nutballs do to these people? It's wild. It's wild. And oh man, it's just crazy that even to this moment, there's still. I feel so bad because when you're watching that interview of her and she's talking about her brother and her sister and her brother-in-law, and you're hearing the pain that they're all going through, and to sit there and continue, like the FBI already came out and said that they passed the polygraphs like a long time ago in the very beginning. Oh, well, they don't know what they're doing. Man, this is the freaking FBI. What the hell are you talking about? You're going to sit there and say that the FBI don't know what they're doing with polygraphs just to try and support your agenda? What the hell is wrong with you? It's becoming nothing. I hate to see it happen. And then you got Jennifer Coffindaffer out there putting up a GoFundMe, promoting it, and the family, and she's like, the family, she in her tweet, the family, the family is cool with it, or whatever her words were. And come to find out, the family's not freaking cool with it. The family doesn't want anybody doing a GoFundMe. And now you got the local news calling Jennifer Coffindaffer's GoFundMe a freaking scam because the family said, look, we don't need, well, if they got $40 million, why are they don't need that. They don't need that. That's why they said, look, we donated, 500,000, and we want you to focus on other missing people's cases. That's what they want. So the fact that Jennifer Coffindaffer is sitting there putting all these other people, I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched her shows, the last few shows. If you've seen what she's been posting on social media, she is sitting there throwing daggers in so many directions, and then all of a sudden you're like getting so full of ahead of yourself that you're going to promote this GoFundMe that the FBI and the family, the Guthrie family, is supposedly cool with, and then all of a sudden the local news has to put out. They even interviewed Sheriff Nanos about it, and he even said the family does not want any GoFundMes, period. It's crazy. Crazy. The whole, like, is it even about Nancy anymore? Or is it about your new suspect? Or is it about your facial recognition off of a frickin', like, really? Out of a ski mask, you can come up with a facial recognition. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's nuts what's going on with this case. But at the same time, this new interview was wild too, because the new details that were put out there about the evidence and the crime scene. And I have a humongous question now, because We go back to my breakdown. I mean, hello. I said they were hiding back here. I said there was this many people. I said this is how they probably entered. Look what happened. The back door was propped open. I said they came through the back. I said they came through that little porch area that went into the house. Now, this is what was huge to me because this whole time we thought that they left out the front door because of the blood. The the blood. Then we hear yesterday or a couple days ago, the same kind of blood patterns were inside the house as they were on the outside. Now, I did have that picture through the front door that somebody snapped, and I zoomed in on it, and I didn't know if it was a rug, but I did not see any kind of blood splatter. So that was very interesting and not surprising either, because if you had that much blood loss in the front, well, then you had to have had it before you walked out that front door. But this is what's crazy is we saw the blood, we saw the blood drops, we saw the blood we saw the blood, and then it led out the front to like a car that was sitting in the driveway. You had perfect cover if you had your lights off. Period. How in the hell and why in the hell was the back door left propped open?
Yeah, I think that interview left more questions than answers, honestly. And I mean, I thought it was quite noteworthy that Savannah mentioned the blood outside, outside the door. She didn't mention anything about blood inside when she was talking about why this scene did not look right, how you could tell that there was something that, she didn't just wander off. It's not one of those cases. The main thing she said was the doors were propped open and that there was blood outside the front door. Like, it would have been appropriate there to mention if there was blood inside. And now I'm questioning, like, all of the information that's coming out. Like, what is real? What isn't? What is even true? And aside from that, I mean, everything you just said, like it just doesn't fit with each other anymore. Like,
Well, this is the only. I mean, because that to me that was a big. Because I'm sitting there like everything that I've broken down from the very beginning has turned out to be true, even down to where they entered the property. But to me, this is the only thing that makes sense. Now, huge question, like how in the hell? Because you look at the blood shows a trail. It's not like they. I mean, do you think? I don't know. Do you think? I just don't see this. This is the only way that explains that blood trail if they left through the back door, which I still don't think they did. But do you think that they would lead her back up to the front door and the drips would be going up to the house instead of away? I don't see that. I don't see it. It has to be leaving the house. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, all I can think is that they had a plan to leave through the back and they prepared for that, but something went wrong and they had to change that. But the doors that they originally wanted to leave through were still propped open. Okay. I don't know what that could mean or how that could happen, but that's just the only thing that makes sense to me is that the propping of the doors was part of a plan that they laid out. And as a lot of us have speculated, this just didn't go according to plan. And they had to rush out another way.
Do you remember where I said I thought they parked the car if it wasn't out in the driveway? Do you remember the spot? It was like a little circle.
Yes.
I wonder if I have the picture of it. I don't know if I let me I probably don't. I think I was using Google Maps. I don't even remember the address at this point. But anyway, there was a road that was behind Nancy's house, and it's a little like cul-de-sac turnaround, right?
Right.
And if I was gonna like not show up on the camera, Okay, and maybe that's why the person came and took the camera first, and then the other person that was standing in the back, like I discovered, pulled the car up in the driveway. Because I really feel like they went out that front door, they got in a vehicle in the driveway, they pulled out without their headlights on, got on the road where it didn't look like the headlights were turning, and then flipped their lights on and took off. And I do not feel that they took that route that the camera showed up for the Kia Soul. They would have went a different route, direct south, not going all the way around. But with them leaving, I think that the door was left open because I think they were bringing things in with them. Equipment, who knows what? It could have been, because the dude had a backpack. Okay, you can fit a tarp in there, but that thing was small and it was stuffed. So maybe you could fit a tarp in it. If you're wanting to bring who knows what, a bunch of other supplies, I mean, from what we heard from Savannah, on a good day, she could maybe make it to the mailbox. She wasn't moving very much at all. So they they have to have known that. If she was obviously targeted, it was obvious it was a target. So maybe they are, if they've already been there a few times, they've seen her go to her mailbox with a walker and barely make it. They've seen her get in and out of vehicles and barely make it. I wouldn't be surprised if they were sitting there while she got in the Uber to go to Annie and Tommaso's house. I wouldn't be surprised if they were sitting there just so they had to have known, and maybe that they had to bring, like, who knows, something with to transport her quickly. I don't know. It just, when you look at the blood trail says to me that that's a person that is walking and moving, especially with the splatter of where those blood droplets are at in front of the door. I don't understand why else, like you said, maybe they were planning on taking her back out the back door. But to me, if you're worried about obstacles, that's worse, because you got to worry about a fence. You got to worry about a gate door. You got to worry about obstacles that are in front of you if you're really trying. Now, you could literally park behind the garage door. You could park in that half circle of a driveway. You got plenty of cover from all the bush, the cacti, and you watch videos and you go to Google Guy and you take a little 360 turnaround at that T section right in front of the house, and it's nothing but bush and shrub and up to here. You can't even see, like, barely even see anything around you. So you got plenty of cover. I can't see them leaving the back door propped open for them to make their exit that way, unless they park their car in that spot where I think they park their car, right behind her house. Right before you get to that little turnaround, you can park right before you get to the house there, and you can literally walk behind their backyard and then get to Nancy's backyard, no problem, not being seen at all whatsoever. And your car's not going to be seen in front on her street, period, that which would then tie it back to you. Your vehicle's in a separate location, which isn't going to be, quote, part of the scene or whatever. So they would have to have went through a lot of, especially because, to me, I didn't know she was as bad as it was. On a good day, she could maybe make it to the mailbox. I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know. But now that I do, I don't even think, if they knew, that's a lot of stuff to walk through to go back to your car if it is parked back there. They would have had to park in that driveway
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
because she ain't making if and maybe that's why people are saying they think four people did it, because it'd be tough for two people to carry her out
Yeah.
uh and have obstacles. You go out the front door just like the blood shows. You go out to the front door, you only got to walk 10 freaking feet and you're putting her in a car. That's it. And this is another reason why it really haunts me, because I was telling people back then, you need to be doing a grid ground search anywhere from the point 0.5 to 1 mile, because she didn't make it far from her house and she's laying next to some bushes somewhere. And it really haunts me because of all the people that were sitting on lawn chairs for the last month and a half, and not one of them got up off their ass to go look right by her house. I mean, come on, let's be real. If she was a bargaining chip, she wouldn't have had all that blood loss. They would have made sure she was A-OK. Oh, we got your medicine. We got, if she was a bargaining chip for somebody, they would have made sure to grab the medicine. They would have made sure to grab the phone, not leave her phone behind. They would have brought her phone too. Something to make sure that you could, if not, forget the phone, the medication. That is your
Yeah.
meal ticket. You're not going to sit there and let your meal ticket, the whole reason why you just did what you did, you're not going to let that go to waste because you didn't make sure you got the medication. You're going to make sure. So I don't know if I even trust these ransom notes like Savannah kind of does. I don't know if I can trust these ransom notes still, because I thought they were fake already. Was saying it from the beginning, but they would have sent a proof of life. There would have been proof of life. They would have got her medicine. They would have did what they did to make sure that they could get what they get in exchange for her, which is why they would have done the whole thing in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, one thing, like over time, that just hasn't become clearer is why this happened. I think that if it was a case of ransom, I feel like we thank you. I feel like we would have heard that by now, but like in a more confirmed way, because it's just like I said, today just feels like it left more questions. But that's one thing that's always been a question, like why? What is the reason for this? It's not clear.
Yes, and again, good job today. It was you did awesome.
Thank you.
Christine, and this is, she has a great question. I'm sure they did. But at the same time, how do we know for sure, Rosie? Because it was a botched investigation from the beginning when you, let alone, open up and shut down a crime scene multiple times.
Yeah.
You
So
don't take the rug with the blood on it. You don't even take it. You just
yeah.
leave it.
Yeah. I mean, it seems that Savannah's brother, Cameron, was way ahead of the police in understanding the scene. They were treating it like she wandered off. It seems like they were kind of insisting that, that's what happened because of her age. So I don't think that they were like particularly motivated to do things like check garbage cans and stuff like that, because they approached it with like a pre-decided attitude, like, oh, she probably wandered off, and
But
they just
how could they come to that conclusion though, right? Like
yeah.
how could that wait, and you'll hear from Savannah because we're gonna watch the interview together. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you very much. After what her brother came to a conclusion before law enforcement never did about it possibly being a ransom, and she didn't just walk out of there. Don't you think, because Annie was already there, don't you think, like, they all know that their mom couldn't move very well. They all know the kind of pain she was going through. They all know the struggle. And so if you have your shoes and you have your phone left behind and you have your medication left behind, um, why wouldn't that tell an investigator that there's probably foul play? They didn't just wander off, especially when they can barely make it to the mailbox on a good day. Like, how do they even get to that conclusion? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I really feel like two things. I really feel the reason that Nancy has never been found yet. Number one, it's Sheriff Nanos and his botched investigation from day one and not having any kind of strategy or foresight. You know, there's so many fumbleoos throughout this whole time, that it's way more than what's normal, period. Um, and also, I really feel like she was never found yet is because nobody really did any real searching. A lot of people made a lot of money, but didn't. Let's go hang out on some. What do you call them things, Rosie? Where you the ski lifts or something? Ski lifts where that bench that you're on a wire and it takes you from here to there, for mountains and stuff. I think it's like a ski lift or
It's like a
something like that.
cable car.
A cable car, whatever. You're out there searching on cable cars. You know what I'm saying? You're out there searching 5 miles away when literally, she obviously wasn't a bargaining chip to them because they didn't do what they would have done if she was, especially with the medication. So she didn't make it very far. That's why they didn't take the medication, because they knew she wasn't going to make it very far. There was no need to take the medication. None at all. So so why wasn't there any searches a half mile to a mile from the scene of the crime? I really feel like I hate it. There's another case in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, where they just ID'd the remains of somebody that's been missing for 2 months. Guess where she was found? Right by where she went missing, in some brush and bushes. Same thing with Nancy. Come on. And doesn't matter. It's crazy to me. Jim searched a lot in hard places. I've never seen it. Are we talking? This is the thing. Are we talking 0.5 to 1 mile from the house? Because any other search, it's just like Sebastian Rogers. Can you imagine? Because we searched for Sebastian Rogers for how many months? 8 months, 9 months, right? Can you imagine if we didn't start the searches from ground zero and then outward? We were going out on this road. We were heading over here. You can pick a million frickin' spots. You need to start at ground zero because you don't know what direction. Sebastian's phone was left behind. Sebastian's shoes was left behind.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what happened to Sebastian just disappeared. You start the search at ground zero. You move out because that will help you determine if you need to go to Utah or if you need to go to Mexico or if you need to go to Virginia or if you need to go to Oregon. It'll tell you what direction you need to go to. So I'm not saying there wasn't searches that were out there going on this dirt path or this homeless encampment or whatever. What I'm saying is what searches have been done 0.5 to 1 mile from the house, because that is where she's got to be. Period. We could look in New Mexico. We could look through you got to start at ground zero. That's the only way you're going to find a direction, Now with these billboards, a lot of them in Houston, Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Do they think that they didn't go south to Mexico, that they went east? I don't know. It's crazy. Why wouldn't you put most of the billboards in Arizona? They put them in New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma. Maybe they know something, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's hard to believe that there wouldn't be a reason for that. I mean, it's very like specific.
Yeah, because usually the first ones go up in the area that they went missing. So
Yeah.
let me see. Yeah, the medicine, the purse, the phone was left behind, but the blood out front and the prop door in the back. What did they need to prop the door? You know, like you're moving furniture in, you're going to prop the door because you need the door to be held open so you and somebody else can carry something in, right? That's because if you, it'd be different if the blood was going out the back. Hey, it's 100% they went out the back door. The blood is going out the front, and it's not like they're walking her back up to the front door. It had to be they had to have left out the front door. So why was the back door propped open? MZ, all the neighbors were down with finding Nancy, and I'm sure anybody could have got permission. Trust me, we've done a lot of boots on the ground searches in multiple locations. That's what you do. You go ask permission. If you're trying to search somebody's yard, you ask permission. Now, everybody there was down with Nancy being found, and I'm sure anybody would have allowed their property to be searched if somebody actually wanted to search it, but nobody did. Because I don't remember anybody even searching the neighborhood, let alone within a half mile. Like I said, I could go out there and do a search and get a bunch of donations, but it's, you gotta, like, if you're gonna really do it, you gotta do it. You don't just, some do it for the moolah and some do it because they really do want to try and find this person. And that's how you know the difference. Like, are they actually searching where they should search, or are they just searching to go live? There's a difference in it. You see it. You see people like camped out in front of the house, but they're just chilling in their car and they're not even at the house. I mean, we've seen all the clickbait that's taken place with this case. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, there's still people talking about family members tonight. Who is this person on their Facebook? Like they're a suspect. It's like, come on. Just, you know, the family accusations and all of this extra stuff, it's gross. People have become addicted to what it brings to talk about stuff that is shock and awe.
Yeah, people are bored.
Still talking about the fake car lights. Can you believe that? There's still discussion about the fake car lights. Well, I'm calling them fake because they're fake, because I told everybody back then it's the house. It's the house. It's the house. But there's still discussion about these fake car lights and the fake phone, the flower phone, Rosie. There's still discussions about the fake flower phone.
Yeah, no, there's actually, like, as recently as today and yesterday, there's still discussions
Yes.
about that.
Yes. 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 I don't know. I still don't think the ransom notes are real. They still don't have any clue. If any of them were real, there would be something behind it by now. Like there would be something if any of them were real. And still, even if it's a fake proof of life picture, right? It's still a proof of life. Even if she's gone and you took a picture, even if she's losing blood, you took a picture of her alive in another location, even if it's in the car, it's a proof of life. That is your meal ticket, even if she's passed away. So the fact that none of these ransom notes included proof of life, I don't see how any of them are legitimate. Especially if you're asking for 6 million Bitcoin, you would have a photo, even if she's gone already. That's your meal ticket. That's your so no proof of life. I don't know. Do you think Savannah said in this interview that she thinks that a couple of them seem legitimate? I don't think I still from day one, where's the proof of life? I don't see it. I don't think they're real. I
Yeah.
still don't. I still don't. Even if she does, do you think that one or two might be real or no?
No, I don't think so. I think that it would have been further investigated by this point. And I did notice that when she said that, she said, I believe they're real. And like, she wasn't saying that we or the
Right.
police or,
Yeah.
so, and she kind of emphasized I. Like, maybe there is some disagreement about that. Honestly, I can understand, like, if she is desperately seeking some hope, then she just wants something concrete. But I don't think that it's very likely. Unfortunately, I don't. I just don't.
Yeah. There'd be a proof of life. Period. Even if it's you're asking for 100,000 and they're passed away, you're gonna make sure you snap a picture. So even if you gotta fake it, you're like, yeah, here, she's still here. Here's the picture. You're gonna fake it, even if so. And if she was targeted, well, then what was she targeted for? Because the ransom, you and me feel that the ransom, none of them were real. What would she was obviously targeted for something because man, they propped the door, took the front, they went there a few times, obviously targeted. What do you think they could have targeted her for? That's another big question I have, and I struggle to even come up with anything, honestly.
I just can't. I can't get my head around. Like, I don't know. It's
I can't come up with nothing. Can
so.
any of you guys come up?
I mean,
I don't. What could the target be for then? If it wasn't, if the ransom notes weren't real, right? That
mhm.
means that it wasn't Savannah. Because if it was Savannah, I can see the 6 million Bitcoin being the ransom, right? That's 2 million less than your salary for a year. You can come up with $6 million, Savannah, right? That's
Yeah.
2 million less than your salary for a year. You can come up with it. I can believe that, but it's not, to me, it's not real. What could she be targeted for? I don't know. I can't. And I'm one that explores everything. And I I I don't know. I can't come up with nothing.
Yeah. So I mean, the only two things that I keep coming back to are that they had some kind of a plan and it really just went wrong, or that again, like, I'm still thinking some kind of initiation or something like that, where the outcome was just,
That was gonna be the outcome
yeah,
already.
yeah. But
Initiation. Explain that. Explain that more. Because I understand what you're saying, but I want
so
you to kind of explain it
yes. So a lot of
for the
these
audience.
criminal syndicates and stuff like that, when they bring in new members, that's the kind of task that they will give them, to see if they can complete that task. And then if they're able to, then that sort of gives them access to the syndicate or the organization or whatever group it is. Usually, look, that's in my experience, and maybe it's you know more common here, but that's just how I've seen things play out quite often when there doesn't seem to be any kind of outcome. It doesn't seem resolved. And also when you have somebody, caught on camera looking the way they did, but then at the same time they haven't been caught. It's like they have those resources behind them, but they're still not very good at what they do. How do you reconcile those two things? That's
Hmm.
kind of why I feel like it is, because I always felt it was a group, like an organization, a syndicate, something like that. That's really all I can think. Then the outcome was the outcome. It was to see, can you do this?
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, but what? Just because, like, what? It's just because of the name. Like, what? What made her the target, though? Okay, so say it was something that they knew that that's what the outcome was going to be. I mean, um, because there's two things you said. One thing you said is they planned it and it just didn't even go to how they had planned it. Could be one way, but another thing could be that it was part of a syndicate type thing. So, what would be the target for it being Nancy, though? Like, for what? Because Savannah is a reporter on a morning show, because the family's made of money, because the family's been there for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, is what would be the reason for the target? Like, what is it pinpointed down to that, okay, this makes sense why she would have been the target of this kind of crime?
I think that a elderly person living alone with mobility issues is a target, like regardless of who they're related to. I really
So
do.
you don't think it has nothing to do with the name. It's the location, the neighborhood, the why didn't they take anything then? Don't you think they would have wanted to take something of value
I
with
don't know.
Nancy?
I don't know. I think that the task
Maybe they
was the
did. We
task.
don't know. Maybe they did. We don't
Exactly.
know. Right?
But the thing is that a lot of people have speculated, like, was this somebody who had some kind of a motive related to Savannah, right? Um, or people have said maybe they were obsessed with Savannah, something like that. I don't feel that in that case they would be able to resist not contacting her. Like, something to do with a ransom, something to do with, something to, like, if it was about Savannah, I think she would have heard something. And it wouldn't have been a
It's a good point.
vague note to TMZ
Right.
or just nothing at all. If it was about her, I feel that she would know by now. She wouldn't
That's a
be
good point.
unsure.
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
really
That's a
think
good
some,
point.
yeah, yeah,
That's a good point. That again, you add that with the no proof of life, you have to distance from the ransom.
yeah,
You have to.
yeah. I mean, if
So,
the ransom, sorry, if the ransom had, if it was a ransom and it had anything to do with Savannah at all, how would that person be able to resist not sending it to Savannah? Like,
right.
yeah,
Exactly. The proof of life, especially. Here's your
yeah.
mom.
Like,
Give
you
us
want
our
her
money.
attention.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Especially with her being a high profile media figure, it wouldn't be too hard to send her an email to her work email.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Or an email to the Today Show, or so, here's her
yeah.
mom. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, instead of TMZ. Um, so you don't think it's necessarily a target, as in of who she is or her name or anything. It's more of just a crime of opportunity.
I do believe
Opportunity.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a crazy crime. I mean, but at the same time, there in a way is sit and duck. It's
yeah.
not like you would have to, um, you know, all of the group is gonna make it out. 99% probability they're gonna make it out unharmed. during this thing that they're going to do. I could see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's more about what you mentioned in the first, where they had a plan. Again, because the person showing up, even if you staked out the house, the fact that you're showing up and you don't even walk backwards to the camera before you rip it down, where you allow that camera to take a photo and video of your mouth and your eyes, that right there shows me you weren't very prepared. Just which is why I said way back in the beginning, that's why I don't feel Nancy made it very far, is because if they weren't prepared to walk up to a camera, they weren't prepared to take care of somebody that had that amount of blood loss, and they would have panicked and got rid of her as soon as possible. Again, not far from her house. So I can see what you brought up first, right? How they had a plan. They had a plan and it didn't go to the way that they expected, just like the person had a plan to walk up to the front door to try and gain access and went, "Oh crap, there's a camera." They had a plan and it didn't work out. And so if you're showing up slipping on a banana peel, you're going to be slipping on banana peels all throughout the crime and even as you exit the crime, which is crazy to me why there's been nothing left behind that would tie anybody to this crime. And again, it has to go back to the botched investigation from Sheriff Nanos, because how can you have any good evidence leads if you allowed a crime scene to be contaminated multiple times? You can't get a clear answer or direction. Dolores, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Hi to you as well, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much for the support, the kind words. Appreciate it very much. And also, Kib Kitty member for 33 months. Ooh, keep up the great work, CJ and Rosie. And again, thank you again, Rosie, for the episode earlier. And by the way, if you guys
Thank you too.
want to check out that episode, let me share this real quick. If you guys want to check out, this is Rosie going through the Guthrie interview. Go show her some love on there. You did a great job, and she went ahead and covered the whole interview today. And so we're kind of talking about it tonight. Jay Gallagher, could this be a new crime organization testing out the waters? They might have wanted to see the response. Well, and you bring up a great point, Jay Gallagher, because in the beginning, I kind of brought that up about it being a. Okay, so in the very beginning, we were talking about. We were talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the Clintons, if you guys remember that in the very beginning. There was no proof of life, and I'm sitting there going, these ransom notes are fake. There's no proof of life being shown. Is this a test run? Is this a test run to see what the responses are, not only from law enforcement, but the public itself, the true crime community? I want to see if I get somebody higher profile than what we just did. I want to see how social media is going to want to respond. I want to see how quick rewards going to pop up. I want to see, kind of like what you're saying, Jay Gallagher, testing the waters. I brought that up in the beginning, and it's a very good point. And that could be the reason for the target. We're gonna, because it's like I said back then, why are we taking the mother of a host from the Today Show? Like, where is the what? Like, it's not like it's a member of the Kennedys or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Today Show. Most people, I don't know. I ever see Savannah Guthrie's face when I saw her when this happened? I remember seeing her face from somewhere. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was a Today Show. I didn't even know her damn name. I just remember seeing her face somewhere on a commercial or a news video that cuz honestly, I don't even use Today Show
Yeah.
for clips at all unless it had like maybe the Consalvas family on there from Idaho 4, and I don't think she was even interviewing any one of them for that case. So it was just something that you might have seen them like do the fake laughing in the morning, the little promotional video. Wake up with us, I maybe it was one of those, but certainly didn't know her name. So it wasn't somebody that everybody frickin' knew because half the people knew who she was and half the people didn't. They just remember seeing her face. So it wasn't like it was super frickin' high profile. So maybe it was testing out the waters.
Yeah. And I mean, on that point, in a slightly different way, I mean, it could have been that they were testing out the waters like in various ways leading up to it. Like, I mean, with the way that the intruder was behaving on camera, which is really strange, it does make me think of like a lot of the crimes that happen in South Africa, where the night before, that person who's going to break in, they do get on your camera. They wear a mask, they get on your camera so that they can see if you come out. Or they'll test your electric fence and then time how long it takes for the siren to go off. And then usually when those little things are happening, you know that you're getting broken into in a couple of days. So,
Oh,
but I don't
oh
know if
damn.
that's common there. For us, it is. It is like a lot of intruders test things out beforehand.
Right.
And something they do is they get on your camera to like check if it's giving you an alarm or something.
Kind of
And they
like
don't have
what
to
this
care. Yeah.
kind of like what this person did when they had the photo where they didn't have the backpack on them.
Yeah, yeah, that's very common for us. But I mean,
To
maybe
test
that's
it out to see, oh, let's see if they notice me popping up on their I mean, that's ballsy to sit
yeah,
there and put yourself on digital evidence before I mean, that's
so
ballsy.
it's like super super common here because nothing's gonna happen. So that's why I'm thinking like it's not for you guys. That's probably not the case, but
Oh,
here,
whoa, but hold up. Maybe you're right. Maybe they knew that Pima County Sheriff's Office wasn't going to do shit about it.
maybe, maybe. Look, all I can
Rosie,
tell you is that it
Rosie.
happens here a lot.
But think about it. Look, what did Pima County Sheriff's Office do? Nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe these people, because they said they feel like these people are from Tucson, from the area,
Oh yeah.
they would know that Pima County Sheriff's Office ain't gonna do shit. Rosie.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, if it's anything like what we experienced, then it would just be like a similar trend.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. They showed up on camera, didn't care. They're the
Yeah.
FBI's asking about 3 dates. They showed up on camera where we've seen it, and then they're talking about thumbnails on another date. They
Yeah.
didn't care, just like the situation you were putting down. Maybe these people who did this knew they ain't gonna do shit anyway, and if they do, they're just gonna botch it.
I mean,
Damn.
yeah, look, that is definitely the attitude
Holy hell. Clip
in
that,
South Africa.
StreamYard. Clip that, StreamYard, because I don't know. I'm wondering if I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But now that you mention it and now you look at the evidence, it's like, makes sense. Damn.
Yeah, the only thing is like when I thought about that, because like that would make sense to me, but I don't know if that happens there. But if you're saying like a local would know about the sheriff's department, then yeah, that does
Yeah,
make
of
sense.
course they would.
Yeah.
I mean, the locals are trying to get him recalled now. They have so many signatures. They had like 300 freaking retired and current officers even talking about it was crazy. There is barely any support there for Sheriff Nanos, and there shouldn't be, because honestly, dude, you should have been doing grid ground searches from day one. Period. You don't even know where she's at. You saw, I mean, we heard the evidence from Nancy's or from Savannah's interview that was put out today. We know what the crime scene looked like. We know how bad it looked. We know what was left behind. We know that, yeah, obviously there's foul play. You got frickin' blood on the damn inside and outside. Hello, obviously foul play. And you don't know where she went. Why wasn't there? How do they know that she's not frickin' 40 feet away? You know what I mean? Like, how do they know she's not beyond this? It's just crazy that they could sit there and all these days go by and they're like, yeah, we've exhausted every effort. But to me, it's Nanos's fault from day one. So, but let me see here. So we pretty much covered everything of that. So I don't know. We're gonna watch this interview and then we're gonna watch some other stuff when it comes to the new information. And also Brian Enton had Maureen, or what's her name again?
Maureen O'Connor.
O'Connor. He had her on. We were watching those when I did my True Crime Online pool hall shows. We were watching and listening to those, and she has been my new favorite guest appearance on any of these shows, because she gives it to you, straight, no chaser, respectful, and just honest. Because, especially when she's talking about Nanos, you can see her facial. She don't hide it. She lets it be known, and that's how it needs to be. You don't need to sugarcoat it. We need it straight facts. So I would like to check that out too. And then also tomorrow night I'm going to be checking out a bunch of episodes. We're going to sit down and watch, or maybe it might be tomorrow afternoon, but if not, tomorrow night I'm going to be watching these episodes with Megan Kelly and Ashley Banfield. She still says some wild stuff. She really does. And so I want to check those out with you guys, but we'll do that. I don't know. Are we gonna do Nancy's show tonight, or I didn't get to check any of it out. Did you get to check any out? No? Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get to this interview with Savannah, and I want to ask you something real quick. How did you feel about I don't know. I thought it was fake as hell. I was like, the person that's interviewing Savannah, I don't know her name, but she was even like pretending to cry in the beginning of it. And I'm just like, what are you trying to do? And there was a couple points where it's almost like she was trying to show up the crying, like to make it even more obvious than Savannah, probably because she wasn't really crying. And we already heard about the drama behind the scenes of the day that Savannah left and flew to go see if her mom was, see where her mom was at. We already heard about the drama behind the scenes on the Today Show, how people, as soon as she left on a flight, were saying she was being unprofessional and she didn't deserve to have her spot on the Today Show because of it. Right as soon as she was on a damn plane, people were stabbing her in the back on the Today Show. And so when I saw who was interviewing her, obviously you get it. That's the show she's on. She's gonna want them to get the attention for it. But when I watched that lady, do you know what her name is? I don't know what her name is.
I know her name is Hoda.
Hoda? Okay. Well, Hoda, I thought she did a horrible job. I thought she was not sincere. The fake crying really turned me off. And it made me sit and question, are you one of the people that was stabbing her in the back saying it was unprofessional that day? Is she one of them? Because the fact that you had to fake cry means that you didn't. Let me explain this. if you don't give a shit about her and to where you're like calling her unprofessional because she flew out at last minute's notice to go see where her mom was at, then you don't care enough, right? There's a reason why she had to fake cry. Because she didn't have the care and concern that a normal person would for Savannah. Because if she did, she would feel the energy that Savannah is putting out in this interview because she feels that connected to her because she has care and concern. When you're stabbing somebody in the back, what do you do in this situation? You got to fake cry. Why? Because you don't care that much. Because you obviously don't, because you stabbed him in the back. You're going to have to create fake tears. I don't know. It just, after I saw this interview and I saw Hoda and I saw the fakeness, I'm like, I wonder if you're one of them that stabbed her in the back when she went and flew. Because the fact that you can sit there, if somebody's mother is missing, and you're gonna get mad at your coworker because they're flying out last minute notice to go see if where their mom's at, and you're gonna say that's unprofessional. You don't have a damn heart. You don't have a damn heart for another human being. How dare you? So to me, that's somebody that has to fake cry in order to look. I mean, you're going to see it. You can tell me what you think. I don't know. You watched it earlier, Rosee. Again, shout out to you. Thank you for doing the show. What did you think about Hoda?
I mean, I didn't think that it was a very well conducted interview at all. But just to kind of touch on what you're saying as well, a lot of people in the media have come out like straight off the bat pretending that they're friends with Savannah and pretending that they're closer to Savannah than they actually are when they maybe like saw her once at a function and now they're like, no, me and Savannah are friends. Like that's how Ashley Banfield started her first show as well. She was like, I'm friends with Savannah. It doesn't sound like it. So
Not anymore. Not after she accused Tommaso.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that a lot of people are pushing like a friendship or a sensitivity with her as well, when maybe they didn't even actually like her or know her or anything like that. So I think that that's going to come up a lot. But I do think that it has like something probably to do with what you were saying about how people were trying to push into her position and stuff like that. I didn't feel that this I didn't think that she was very genuine. Yeah. Yeah.
Who? You didn't think that Hoda
Yeah.
was genuine?
I did.
Like what? Okay. All right. Cuz I don't know. It was fake. It's
Yeah.
It's why I don't watch the Today Show, cuz it's all fakeness. You know, we're laughing about blueberry muffins. Give me it. All for a TV show.
Yeah.
Give me a break. You got Carson Daly's ass on there.
So that's the thing. Like they had the whole, I guess it's the team or whoever at the end of both part 1 and 2 talking about it. And I got that impression of all of them. So I thought maybe that's their style, their interview style, or just how they sound. I don't know.
That's how their promos are. It's all fakeness. That's why I don't even.
So I don't know if this interview is their usual. I've never watched their stuff before, so I don't know if this is their usual standard.
Oh, I'm sure it is, because I didn't see those parts of the interview. I just saw the interview itself. So, I'm excited to see that part, of the
Yeah, because
interviews because I
they were all like our good friend Savannah, and then they were also very
right.
like it was like very eager to be like, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. We know nothing. We're just finding out with you. We're just watching it now, and like that's not true. You guys probably watched it a few times before, but like you know, it I thought maybe that's just like how they are. To be honest, to be
Yeah,
honest. Sorry to
who
anyone who likes
who
them.
out of who out of any of those people were stabbing Savannah in the back when she flew out to go
Someone
find her
probably
mom?
was at least one.
Which one of you? Oh, more than one. We
Yeah, at
already know
least.
it's more than one. That the source that got the inside information, the source said that there was actually a little mini war going on
Mm,
with sides that were being taken.
yeah.
Some thought that she was unprofessional and some actually cared about her. And I'm wondering who on that panel up there was stabbing her in the back as soon as she walked. Yes, we hope. Oh, please be safe. Go find your mom. Please be safe. And then as soon
Yeah,
as the
please
door
leave.
shuts,
Yeah.
she is unprofessional. Like who are you? That's what I would like to find out. I think
Yeah.
Hoda's one of them, but that's just me.
Yeah.
It's like they see the spotlight on Savannah, and it's just like the people that chilling in lawn chairs instead of going to look.
Yeah.
It's about the spotlight. It has nothing to do with really. It has nothing to do with. It's just Nancy's attached to it. Savannah's attached to it. It's the spotlight. That's
Yeah.
what people are attracted to. It's that damn spotlight. Period. All right, so we're gonna watch this. This is part one, and if you haven't seen it or you want the link for yourself, here's the link. You can click on it. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. Also, if you are enjoying the live stream, help us reach more people. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment, and share this out to your socials and friends. And we definitely appreciate you for being here with us as we are back on this live stream. All right, so this is going to be part one. Let me hit the like on this. It's definitely tough. Now, we have discussed a lot of different things that are already in this interview. Rosee did a great job breaking it down earlier. Definitely go check it out. Here's the link for that if you want to go check it out after we're done. And if not, go show her some love. All you have to do is tap on these links, get them in your history feed, come on back to the show. You don't have to save them to a playlist or nothing. Just click on the link. It'll get it into your history feed. The live stream that you're watching right now is already in your history feed before you went to that new one that went into your history feed. So you can just click back on our show, click the next link, get that in your history feed. Come on back to your history feed through here, and we'll continue to move on. So we're going to check this interview first. We're going to watch part one. I'm not going to pause it as much or break it down as much. You did a wonderful job earlier. We talked about a lot of the stuff. There's a couple things that we didn't talk about, and I'm going to point those out when we get into that when it comes to these interviews. But for anybody that wants to sit there and say that Savannah is making this up, to sit there and say that Savannah is faking it, all I have to say is watch the eyebrows, watch the lips, watch the creases of the mouth, watch the eyes, eyebrows, eyelids. There's nothing but truth being spoken and honest feelings the whole time. If you know how to read a body language, you see so many signs of it coming from her heart. She actually, I think she says a couple things that she wasn't even supposed to say. She just got lost in the moment. Did you get that sense too? Like she said some things and like was shit, was gonna, but I can't
So
take it back because I already said it, right?
yeah, so
You notice those?
while some of the things she said, I was thinking like you're married to a PR specialist. What is he gonna say when you get home?
Right.
Like that's what went through my mind. So there were a couple of things where I was like, I don't think she was completely unscripted.
She got lost in the moment, and you can't blame her.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you can't blame her. It had to be tough. It had to be tough sitting there,
yeah,
pouring your, and the pain and the struggle. This is where I really feel bad for her, because she blames herself. She's blamed herself from the beginnings when she asked her brother, "Do you think that this had something to do?" From day one, she has blamed herself. I I feel bad for her, because that road that she's traveling down is a road that a lot of people fall off, whether it's through their own doing or health wise deteriorates very rapidly. I really feel, I hope she's, and I'm sure she is. They make enough, they have enough access to availabilities. I'm sure that she's getting the help that she needs, but I hope she is, because man, that is a tough road to go down, where you blame yourself, even though you shouldn't, because you didn't do anything for this to happen. It was the people that committed the crime. That's who you need to blame, not yourself. You know, you can't sit there and blame yourself for being a success, and that's why your family member's gone. You can't do that. That's not your fault. You had nothing to do with that. You didn't say, "Hey, go kidnap my mother because, I make all this money and I'm on TV." No. It is. uh, I've seen it too many times. I've seen it too many times where people blame themselves and they shouldn't. And it, it's never good. It's never good. So I hate to see that, but this is what we're gonna see. So, all right. So let me get this thing started again. This is part one, and then we're gonna kind of discuss it here a little bit.
Take me back to the day. It was, I guess, a normal weekend for you.
Yeah.
The weekend your mom went missing. Tell me what you were doing and what happened.
Well, Mike, I had given Mike for Christmas a boys' trip to go play tennis. And so he had been gone for the weekend. So I took my kids actually to Carson's. So we had a beautiful disbelief.
Within hours, Savannah was making the
Okay, so I do want to pause it real quick. Why didn't she mention blood at the front? If there was blood inside the house by the front door and there was blood outside of the house at the front door, don't you think the front door is where you're going to show up to first if you're going to somebody's house? Then wouldn't you notice the blood? Why wasn't the blood? That's a big question that I had with this interview. When you're describing, like going up to the house, that is a big question, man. Just listen to this again.
Gone. And she said, no. She said, Mom's missing. And I said, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She said, she's gone. And she was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, call 911.
Yeah.
She's like, I did. We've called them. They're here. And we thought that she must have had like some kind of medical episode in the night, and that somehow, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open, and that didn't make any sense. We thought maybe they came and there was a stretcher and they took her out the back. But her phone was there and her purse was there and all her things. And it just didn't make any sense.
And there was blood on the front door. And and like she said, it didn't make sense. When would an ambulance crew come take somebody with a stretcher, not notify, emergency contact, and leave the back doors propped open for any of that wildlife to be coming inside that house when they left? That makes absolutely no sense. They'd at least shut the door. They wouldn't leave it propped open. But the thing is they left the back doors, but why not? And this is what I don't understand is if this is being spoken as of what she was hearing from Annie, or if this is her showing up herself. But she starts it off saying she was speaking to Annie, but then she's giving you the information of what they seen. The back door was propped open. Maybe they weren't allowed to walk in the house. But again, if you're showing up to somebody's house, you're going to the front door.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to say this yet, but I do think I've heard that she didn't use that front door much. That they always used the garage. But I need to find out where I heard that and when.
Yeah, because that's going to be the easiest, because that's the least amount that she has to walk.
Yeah.
You know, you're with that garage, you're basically, if you drop her off right at the garage door, she only has to walk a little bit. She doesn't have to go up multiple steps.
Yeah.
It's just the steps right as you get to the door to go inside the house. There's a couple steps to go up to the door. Other than that, you're not walking up two different sets of steps as you're trying to walk that long way up into the front door. Plus the weight of the front door, we heard how, sturdy it is. And so it's got to be heavy. And yeah, it makes sense. The garage door, if you're driving somewhere, you come home, you just walk a couple feet, you have to make it up just a couple stairs, you're already inside. But I would still, I I would still think that somebody would still go to the front door. So
Yeah, I agree with you. It
a
is
knock or doorbell cam,
it is strange. I think she's trying to relay the phone call still.
what she's being told. That's what I was thinking too. But she's spitting out these facts. We don't know about the stretcher. Being very descriptive about what maybe what they were trying to think of what it could be, why the doors were left open. But
Yeah.
the phone being left behind, the shoes, the medication, she knows all that. So then I would assume that they would know about the blood. If you know about the shoes, you know about the phone, you know about the medicine, you know about the back door, you should know about the front door, So
Yeah.
and maybe that's because to me the whole medical emergency thing that she brought up doesn't have anything to do with the blood, because she would have mentioned the blood. She mentions the medical emergency in association with the back door being left open,
Right.
maybe possibly being brought out on a stretcher. So there's no blood thought or discussion when she's recalling those first moments. So it stuck out to me as interesting, because I'm like, well, maybe she's just recalling what she's being told.
I think so. I think that is what's happening here.
And why wouldn't she be told about the blood? So I don't know. It's just weird to me. Just weird.
So
now she's mentioning the blood. So the phone call was being I'm recalling the phone call. I'm telling you what I was being told. So that's what she was being told. Now she's getting to, I feel, where she's recalling the things that she was seeing. Because now you can see, because before, again, look at the eyebrows, the eyes, the mouth, and the creases of the mouth. Before, she's got that look, but she doesn't have as many of those tears running down. And right here where she's discussing, now that pain is starting to go back. That's you have the shock feeling when you're on the phone, right? It's shock. When you get there and you see it for yourself, then the flood of pain comes rushing in your body. And that's where we see the transition of the flood of pain, is right when she's discussing the blood and these other things. And I think that's when she shows up. Whoa. Yeah, like she's recalling seeing it in person. That's why she's looking off to the side. Just like Luke. If you break down Luke, when they're looking off to the side, not up, off to the side, they're recalling. When they're looking up, that's when they're creating, recalling. If you go back to Luke's interview, Luke kept looking to the left. Why are they looking to the left? Because they're recalling what the hell happened, not creating. So as you're seeing her look over to the side now, she's really given that serious, stern look because she's recalling herself looking at the blood on that front sidewalk. She's seeing herself looking at that blood. That's what you see in those eyes. This is no fake. This is not making it up. You can see this is real. Look at the crease of her mouth. It's going downward. The eyebrows.
Yeah.
They're showing those emotions that naturally come with what you're feeling inside. And so, it's so tough to watch.
Do you think because of me?
Let me go back just a minute.
He knew.
He knew.
And he said, I think she's been yanked off.
Yeah.
And so we were saying, this is
Yeah. Do something.
this is not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This isn't, something is very wrong here.
Yeah. Did you?
See, now she's telling the officers, right? Because the officers were saying, oh, they weren't looking at it like foul play. The family sitting there going, no, you need to look at this. Like, what are you doing? Botched from the beginning. And again, to the point that you made, and I hope StreamYard clips it, the point that you made, maybe they knew that the Pima County Sheriff's Office weren't going to do nothing. So it was an easy target.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, in terms of what she's saying here, I think, like, coming back to that with the sheriff's office, you can kind of tell that she is still, she's trying to, like, get the message across about that level of frustration, right? Where she's like a family shouldn't really have to do a sales pitch to the police on why they need to investigate it, right? I mean, it should be the police telling them, saying,
Right.
"Look, sorry to inform you, but this looks like foul play." It shouldn't be the family like begging, like, look at everything here. So I can imagine that is also extremely, like, difficult to think back on, like, where they're trying to tell the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of regret on the decisions and the advice that they were following from the sheriff's office. Because, it's with any of these families, that's all they can believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a YouTuber or social media can only bring up so many questions. It's not it's not going to, how do I put this? You're not going to be able to be in the investigation like the law enforcement is. So you never have everything that you can really come up with true conclusions, because you don't have everything, because one little piece of evidence can totally change what you're thinking or assuming, when you don't know it all. So, these family members, they can't trust in social media, because social media doesn't have the access that would be needed in order to make that kind of change. So they have to trust these law enforcement. And look, there's a lot of great ones out there, and shout out to them. I always thank them for their service, but they're also pieces of shit. And you know, when it comes to what they had no choice but to trust in the sheriff's office. And that's why we discuss what we do, because we're not we're not discussing you know, the stuff where they're doing the right thing. We shout them out all the time, but we have to discuss when they're not doing the right thing, because you're there for one reason. You're there to get truth and justice. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing for these family members, they're the ones that are are getting you know, screwed in the end, because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You don't want to do what you should do. And the fact that they have to sit there and trust in this sheriff's office for their loved one to be recovered, and you have to trust them. But look what that trust got them: a botched investigation where they're going to be sitting there, you know, who knows how long they're going to be sitting there waiting and wondering. And the fact that it's because the sheriff's office couldn't even, and there's other people, look, it's not, we've gone out on plenty of searches for plenty of cases. It's not like people couldn't have gone out there and actually looked, like in real places. It's
Yeah.
not like it couldn't happen. Listen, the sheriff's office didn't want to do it. Okay, then we can do it, because it's about finding her. You know, it's about finding her.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to find her is search. And so the fact that she had to settle for that, it makes me wonder, you see the guilt that they're going through. Does that guilt also come with, man, we shouldn't have trusted and took their advice this whole time? Because we remember the day that they quit taking the advice from the law enforcement was the day that they came out with that $1 million reward, because the sheriff's office advised them multiple times not to come out with the reward, and they did it anyway. And that was the day that I think that they were like, you know what, we're not listening to the sheriff's office anymore. We're going to do what we wanted to do, because we've been waiting this whole time, and look what you did with this investigation. You made it even harder for us to find our mom. We're done listening to you. We're going to do what we want to do now. And I hope that none of them feel regret for waiting that long, because I'm sure they do. But everybody understands, you know, you have to put trust. And unfortunately, families have to be in a position where they have to trust the law enforcement, and they find out the hard way that they weren't up for the task, you know. And it sucks, because that's how every family has to find out, the hard way. The hard way. They have to find out like this, in what Sheriff Nanos offered and what he didn't offer for them trying to find their mom. So very, very tough for those families, and I feel bad for them that any of them have to go through that. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I'm wondering if anybody is flying. Well, Steve Fisher, and I'm wondering if he's going out there, because he has a drone that can detect small changes. And he actually there was one of his drone videos where it detected a body of somebody that was missing, and it actually locked in on a coordinate, and then they actually found the body in that coordinate with this software that he has with this drone. So I've known other people have flown drones out there, but with how high it is and how thick that brush is, they would have they would have hidden Nancy in a brush where you're not going to see her unless you're actually like looking around with a stick. They're not, you know, they don't want they don't want They don't want. There's been other people, but there's they're not really investigators, or they haven't really investigated. There's a lot of people that um, went there that are usually just driving around, you know, and so I think that's why none of them really went out there and did any kind of searchings, because that's not what they were. That's not what they were doing before. They just kind of came to the area. Other than 857 Tucson is legit as hell. That dude is all about finding Nancy and doing everything that he can. But there's a lot of other people that aren't even from there that just came to capitalize on stuff. But yeah, there's been other drones, but nothing that, there's not really. I don't think they really know what they're looking for, if that makes sense. You have a drone and you can fly it around, but if you don't know what you're looking for, I don't really know how effective it is. Now, yeah, when it comes to him, he's the only one that I know of that has that kind of software with his drone. And so, look, if somebody has the software and they got the drone and they've been able to find other people that were, discarded out in wilderness, that people didn't think that they were going to be found, and they did from the software. I don't care who it is. Go find Nancy. You know what I mean? Go find Nancy. I don't care. All right, so we'll get back to this, and this is more of the interview, part 1 again.
You guys talk about what possibly could have happened, like what could have happened, what went down. Did you?
I think my brother.
Hoda's fake crying already. Fake crying already. There's no tears coming out, but I'm going to keep touching the side of my eye to see if I can make my eye tear up on purpose, right? Sorry, I said that. That's interesting, man. Her brother, sorry, honey, maybe. And she said, I already kind of knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a possibility, I guess. It is, but it doesn't seem like they really know anything.
No.
Yeah.
And we already kind of discussed this in the beginning of the show, broke it down when it comes to the ransom, and the brother mentioning it, but still, neither one of us, me or Rosee, even think that it's still legit. No proof of life and no direct contact with Savannah, which you would assume would be, it's not like when John Benet Ramsey went missing, it's not like they contacted the Aspen newspaper or something and said, hey,
Right.
run this article.
Yeah.
It's not, they direct to the family, left a note, right? So you would think they would have done that.
I mean, we still don't know.
Mhm.
Honestly, we don't know anything.
No.
We don't know anything. So I don't know that it's because we want to thank.
And I want to mention one thing real quick too. Why is she going back to the Today Show then? You know what I'm saying? If you feel that it's your fault and you feel like you're targets to where you got to go to another location to discuss everything after you guys all meet up, why are you going back to the Today Show? Right?
Well, yeah.
If you think that was the reason why your mom was taken, well, what if your sister's taken after you go back on the Today Show? Then you're gonna be feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be accustomed to making that much money and living a certain lifestyle. So that would be the only reason I would think somebody would, if they think that their job and their profile was the reason why somebody was abducted and kidnapped. Well, why, if you really feel deep down that, then why would you go back to it? Because wouldn't you be afraid that it could happen again if you think that was the reason.
Yeah, look, I also I'm not sure if maybe she's partly attributing it to the fact that she, and I don't mean this in like a negative way, but she did publicize her mother a lot.
Oh yeah, big time.
And maybe it's not only to do with who she is, but maybe it's that behavior that she's worried about. And I don't think that she's done that with other family. I don't know if she's done that with other family members, but maybe it's not solely just who she is, but also the amount of information that she's let be public about her mom.
Well, the Today Show is known for that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, asking you to feature your family members, to make it more personable.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, that's why she was featured so many times. They feature family members. They feature that. I thought it was stupid. Why are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Why are you gonna feature my hometown? Okay, well, it's the Today Show. Isn't it supposed to be about the newest information that came out today? And y'all discuss it? Why are we doing shows about my hometown? Number
Yeah.
one. Why? For what? Because they want it to look more personable. They want you to feel like you're part of the family. The fakeness.
Okay.
It is dangerous, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Social media and stuff. There's a lot of nutballs out there. So who knows? Maybe it is true. We just no proof of life. You would think they would have shown a proof of life, and like you said, they would have contacted her.
Thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom.
In the initial days, you and your sister and brother sat together. In all the despair, you sat and managed to think of words to say. How were you able to do that in that moment?
Well, my siblings are amazing. And we are a unit. And I talked about how brilliant my brother is, but my sister is equally brilliant and also has special powers of intuition and faith and language and depth and heart. And I feel like we came together with all these beautiful gifts that came from our mom and dad and from God. And somehow together we did our best to come up with the words to say. And I haven't posted one thing or said one thing up with the words to say. And I haven't posted one thing or said one thing that the three of us haven't decided together. It is surreal. It's my understanding are not real and I didn't see them, but a person that would send a fake ransom note really has to look deeply at themselves.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't pick up on that earlier. She never seen any of them. So there was some of the interviews, or not interviews, those videos that they were posting. And they were saying certain things, and I don't know, it led me to believe that they had actually seen the ransom, especially when they talked about how they were starting to accept that she might not be here anymore. And I thought because at the same time, TMZ was putting out these videos about how this ransom note is even more serious and dire than the other ones. We can't tell you what's in it, but it led us to think, oh, damn, they showed something where she's like bloody and, it's dire, but they shown a proof of life or something. It's how TMZ was putting it out there, and then the family came out and made that statement. It was like, whoa, maybe they saw this ransom letter and saw a photo of her or something,
Yeah.
and so
Or at
that's
least,
weird.
sorry. At least something was relayed to them. I don't know.
Well, yeah, obviously that, but I was shocked that they didn't see any of the ransom notes at all. Like they didn't even share the ransom notes with the family. And I'm thinking because they didn't think they were real. We've heard ex FBI agents come out and say if the FBI gets a ransom letter or a note and it's legit, they will acknowledge that it is legit. It is a legit ransom. They will acknowledge it. And they even said, I have yet to hear the FBI acknowledge any ransom letter. And so maybe that's why they didn't show it to them, is because why would you show them a ransom letter if you don't think it holds any evidentiary value? You're not going to show it to them, because then that's just, you're kind of spreading false information if you really think it's false. So I don't think with them not acknowledging the ransom as legit and them not showing the family, I would assume that they felt like all of them were not legit. Not that they didn't have to like investigate them, because you have to, but that after they investigated it, they didn't feel that they were actually legitimate. And it's probably for the same reasons that we brought up, because there was no direct contact. It went to TMZ and a local news station, and there was no proof of life. So it was just interesting to me. I was like, oh, wow. So they actually never saw any of the ransom letters. You would think that they would have been shared with them, at least one of them. So
To a family in pain. But I believe.
what do you mean? Like
the way she's thinking back on it, I guess, is different. Or maybe it's something that she wrote down before this interview.
about having to go from one place to the next?
Yeah, like it's
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's a very difficult thing for her to think back on. So maybe that's why it kind of sounds different to me. It's just like she's not speaking the way she's spoken the whole time until now. It's like
Well, let me see here. Okay, so she's talking about it. She's talking about the picture of the guy. Okay, so she's talking about who takes care of who. So you think when she's when she's recalling the social media presence?
yeah, so from the point where they had to like disappear into the dark of the desert and they were holding hands and they had to find a place to go, it's descriptive, it's different. I don't know why. It is
Because she's not showing the emotion that is that what you mean? Like, because she's not
No.
showing the emotion that she showed in previous questions, or
I mean that like the way it's worded, it sounds.
Let me see here. Let's play it again real quick. I want to see. Let me see. Is this where it's at?
Compassion. Stop. The irresponsible and
I want to hear this
cruel
again.
speculation that had started to swirl.
Okay, she's talking about the speculation that started to swirl. We saw all that happen. Jay Gallagher says it sounds over dramatic. Is that
It's
what you're saying?
so in a way, yeah. It sounds okay. So
That's
firstly,
interesting.
it's like a different way to how she's spoken before, in the sense that it sounds like when I hear it, it sounds like you're reading a book the way it's described. And I'm not saying that she made it up. I'm just
Is
saying
that where the discussions about it being fake are coming from?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it sounds
Well, I think those people are more mainly talking about how she's like standing up for Tommaso and he's the one that did it.
yeah. I mean,
But scripted, like
I'm not at all saying that what she's saying didn't happen. It's
Okay.
just that when I heard it, it stood out to me like maybe someone else wrote that part. It's not the
What?
same style.
Well, she would be part of it though, right? If she was going out to have these meetings with the family, wouldn't she be part of it? She would
Yeah,
know if she
no,
was
I'm
there,
just
right?
talking about the particular wording.
I
It's
get it,
like,
Rosie. I caught her doing that many times.
yeah, it's not straightforward language. It's like it's
So
flowery.
how about
Yeah.
about this? How about this? You give us an example. Give us an okay. You've told us like okay, like and I'm gonna play it again because I gotta like pay attention to this part now. But what I'm gonna play this with how she said it. You give us an example of what or how somebody would say it if it wasn't scripted. Is that like
Okay. Yes.
so I
yes.
can
Okay.
because I'm still trying to figure out what you and Jay Gallagher like an author wrote it for her with non-characteristic
So-
language of her.
So if you look at the language that she's used for this whole interview, this part is where you get a baseline deviation, which is what Jay Gallagher is noticing, is that regardless of whether it's true, not true, whatever it is, it's a change from how she's been speaking to this point. And the way in which it sounds different is that she's been speaking very straightforward, like saying, okay, so we had to go to a safe house in the middle of the night. But this way, she's describing it like it's written for a novel, like saying, like, we had to disappear in the dead of the night holding hands and stuff like that.
It was a cold, dark night versus the night was dark as cold.
Exactly that.
And the wind was bitter.
Yeah. It's changed. It's changed into, and I'm not using the word story to say it's fabricated. I'm saying it's been it's been written out or something. It's like, yeah.
So why would you, if you guys feel that way, okay, I still got to rewatch it here in a second, but if you guys feel that way, then why do you think that she did that?
So the reason that I think that's happening is because she was warned, maybe by investigators or whatever, probably for some kind of security reason, to not disclose too much about this part. So for that reason,
For what? For what
safer,
reason?
well, maybe they just don't want them to know where they went to be safe, because then it wouldn't be safe. I don't know.
Like it would still need to be safe right now?
Yeah. So I think that part, because she had to watch what she said there for whatever reason, she maybe pre-planned how she was going to say it, and that's the reason that it sounds different. It's not as natural as.
I mean, I can see investigators, like I said, there's a couple spots in here where I'm like, damn, I don't think she was supposed to say that. And so, yeah, that very well could be. I see what you're saying now. Like before, I'm like, why would she even do that? But now that you bring that up, it makes sense. Like, yes, you can say stuff about, but don't divulge too much information right now. I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. So, like what Yoli says is her profession kicked in, like she was reporting on a case as an anchor. So that's where the wording and how she's
Yes.
saying it comes into play, is because, okay, I'm not supposed to let too much out.
Yeah.
I'm focused right now where I'm not lost in the moment where stuff does leak out. I'm focused right now. You see her face. She's focused. I can
She's
keep my composure and I'm going to make, and I can make sure that. But, okay, so they would need to keep this location
I don't know. I mean,
safe because they
couldn't
need to
say
come
why.
back to it in the future. I mean,
I have no
you know
idea.
what I
I
mean?
just
Like,
know it's different.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could dig deeper into it because she is trained in what makes good. Oh, okay. It makes good TV drama and gets views. It was a long, cold night. All right, let me listen to this. Let me listen to this again.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
I'm glad that people saw
Yeah.
Fake
what came
tears. Ugh,
to our
Hoda,
door.
you backstabbed her. I know it.
When you talk,
Holding hands alone in the desert, getting in a car together. Where in the hell would they have been at? And going to, was it? Because the only houses I know of was Annie and Tommaso's house is where people were going. Where else besides Nancy's? Where I don't remember anybody going anywhere else. It was, but who knows? Maybe there were a bunch of people on TikTok or something that were streaming it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I just saw who was on YouTube. And I didn't see any of them going to anybody else's other than Luke, but they're not going to be hanging out at Luke's house, And then one of the places was out in the desert. Like they went out to some property that had a lot of land or something, and they still had to leave that. I don't know. It's just crazy. Huh. But I see what you mean. Holding hands,
Is respectful, unfortunately, tirelessly.
FBI.
And we see that. Mm-hmm. But we need answers. We cannot be at peace without knowing. And someone can do the right thing. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And our hearts are focused on that.
I think where Savannah ended that, it's not too late to do the right thing, is really, I think, the intent from the beginning.
Yeah.
I think she was a fantasy was that someone sees it, someone who saw someone who knows someone who will say something.
Right. Yeah.
Because, I think this is all about bringing Nancy
Well, it's still an
home.
open case. We're 54 days in. The bravery that she's showing in this interview is not to shine a light on herself, but to remind people that if you have anything to do with this, if you know anything,
Yes.
we firmly believe that somebody does know something, it's not too late.
Yes.
We can still bring Nancy home if you call the
And
number.
one of the things Savannah actually said to me was she said, please remind everybody that there are lots of people
Yes.
who are missing. And that's why her family has donated to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And she wanted me to underscore that because she wanted to be clear, like this is also about a lot of people people who are missing. But you guys know how strong Savannah is. I have never. I mean, I knew she was strong, but not. I didn't know how much until yesterday. Yeah, when I sat with her.
I just of the takeaways there, the fact that our dear friend would blame herself.
Oh, that was the hardest.
That was the hardest part.
Would blame herself for any of this when it was some sicko or sickos out there who would kidnap a woman in the middle of the night. But the only SG could sit there and do that.
Because of the faith that she has, the faith that Nancy instilled in her.
And I think we're going to talk about that, Al. In fact, in the next hour, we're going to talk a little bit more about Nancy and the faith that kind of brought her to this point. So our love and prayers with Savannah.
Again, we want to mention again the phone number to call if you have any information.
Yeah. You know how hard it was for all of us to watch it the first time, and I'm sure most of us shed a tear or two. I'm gonna sound like a man. The only one that looked like he even was bothered by what they just watched was Carson Daly, the guy all the way to the left. That was the only guy. Everybody else, where, especially her, all the time she wanted. And then you look at her and she, not a tear. All right, let's get to part 2 here. 1 second. I might have to open up a new thing here. All right, this is part 2.
Ways in the present tense.
Yeah. I mean, she is present tense to me.
Do you feel her, or have you heard her any moments?
I'm sorry. That's a dumb question, and a question you shouldn't ask somebody in this situation. My gosh, what are they doing?
So we moved there when I was about 4, I think. It's the house where I came home on a Friday night at 16, and my mom and sister were on the couch praying and told me that my father had died. It's the house where all of our memories are, good and bad. So it's hallowed ground. My mom loved and treasured that house. In good years and lean years, they were able to hold on to that house. That's my mom's safe haven. It was really hard to see that violated and the terror.
It was her safe
terror
haven.
that she must have felt is unbearable. It's unbearable.
Tell me, while you were spending all this time in Tucson, your kids were home.
To not be alone in her grief. So she taught me to be strong, but she taught me to be true. My faith is strong and resolute, but I early on felt that I heard, for one of the very few times in my life, I did hear God speak to me. As I said to myself, I can handle anything, God. I can handle anything. I just can't handle not knowing. We can't handle not knowing.
Yeah.
I have to know. And I heard a voice. And it said, you do know where she is. She's with me. She's with me. So whether she is on this earth still, or whether she is in heaven, I know where she is. I know who she's with. But we need to know.
I mean, Savannah's faith has been on display over the years, but never quite like that.
I don't know if people realize that none of us have had much correspondence with her over this whole 54-day ordeal. So as we're watching this with the world,
why not?
We're learning and unpacking so much about our dear friend.
Yeah.
And it's hard to process here in live TV in the moment.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is the very source of her pain is the very source of her faith.
Yeah.
And Nancy showing her the path, which is just amazing.
So you get the sense by watching that. Obviously, the grief is just unfathomable. It's hard to watch. It seems like she's found some peace.
I think she's
found some peace.
I think she has found some, but I think she wants the answers too. She says that no one will steal the joy. No one can walk into their lives and steal that joy. But when she talked about the equal parts, like she's seen the best of humanity and the worst of it. She's seen the best of faith that's carried her through. And her mom taught her that. Like still teaching her lessons to this day. I learned so many things that I did not know about Savannah in that moment myself, and Nancy especially.
And the thing about Nancy too was she had this wicked sense of humor. I remember saying something to her about a school in Arizona that did not accept Savannah, and she had a pithy remark that's not repeatable, but with a smile on her face.
I have to say, and since we've all met and known Nancy, to really understand who she is really special. But we're going to hear a lot more from Savannah. She actually revealed what her plans are, not just returning home here to New York, but returning home here to today. So we're going to talk about that, her future. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to have more from our conversation. It's a special edition of Dateline.
So Dateline tomorrow night. I'm trying to remember, Rosee. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember how I did these sneak peeks.
It was
over
Twitch.
No, I know I did them on Twitch. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitch, because we'll get in trouble. We got in big trouble when we did Idaho 4. So, but we do them over on Twitch. So let me see here. Let me drop a Twitch link for you. So if you have Twitch or you want to follow me on Twitch, we can do the sneak peeks early access over there. So go ahead and follow me. A follow on Twitch is like a sub on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. Turn on the notifications so you get notified. And I'm going to try. I'm pretty sure. I just need to remember how I was able to. It's been so long. It's been like maybe a year since I even did this. So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll figure it out, and I'm pretty sure. I think it's kind of coming back to me. So tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Look for come sub up or follow right now, and then because I'm thinking I might do a show before the Dateline, and we can't play the Dateline on YouTube either. Like the only way that I think with you weren't even able to watch it because being in South Africa, I don't think you had access to something, right? And the only way you could watch it was through Twitch.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people might not even have access to it to see it. So all you have to do is download the app, set up a profile, follow me over there, turn the notifications on. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing a show before that. And then we can go ahead and go over to the Twitch and do the sneak peek watch party or whatever. And then we'll go over there and have everything ready. I'm pretty sure NBC, Yes, I already know how to do it. So we will be live tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central over there on Twitch. You can watch it with us. We'll actually end up playing the whole thing in its entirety, no commentary, nothing like that. And then afterwards, we'll go ahead and break it down, because anytime that we do these, we do take notes, as the show's going on. And then afterward, they're done. I want you to be able to see it without any interruption. I want to see it without any interruption. We take the notes and then we'll break it down after that. I'm excited to see this Dateline, like with what they did. And this is, I'm wondering if this is what they're going to do with this Dateline episode, is what they did with Idaho 4. Remember, Dateline for the Idaho 4 episodes was putting out evidence that wasn't even put out from law enforcement.
Yeah, date leak.
Or the court system.
Yeah,
date leak is right. So who knows? Maybe we're going to get something from this investigation that hasn't been put out there. It's happened before, and who knows? Maybe that's why it's Dateline. I don't know, but definitely follow me over there on Twitch. Also, I'm not sure yet, but I think I might go head over to the TV channel, maybe shoot some pool or do a little BPD, Brighton Police. But I think I might just end up shooting some pool, listening to music or something. That's normally what I go for anyway, but we'll see. It's been a long day. Got a short day tomorrow, so I might be on 2 times. Maybe do a little afternoon live. I'm kind of feeling it. And we'll see what you're up to as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for sure. If it's not in the afternoon, it'll be in the evening before the Dateline episode, and then you can come hang out and watch it with us over there. Unfortunately, with YouTube, we're just not allowed, even on replay, playing it again. You can't even play a little snippet of it, and it'll your stream will get shut down. So it is not possible on YouTube. I can't wait to watch it, and I'm kind of thinking they did it a couple times. I'm kind of thinking that we're going to see some new evidence that hasn't been put out. So and we can always talk about it after the Dateline episode's done too. Maybe hop back over to YouTube and take some screenshots. Maybe we can take some screenshots of it and discuss it some more over here. Maybe take some live calls or something. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Rosee. Again, if you guys didn't check out her breakdown of the interview, whoops, 1 second. Let me get the link for you. Go check it out after we're done with this episode. And then I might see you over there at the TV channel shooting a little pool or something. We'll see though. I love you guys. Appreciate it. Again, thank you so much, Rosee. Definitely follow me on Twitch. We're going to be doing this watch party tomorrow night. Definitely come hang out with us over there and join the conversation. It'll just be like what you see right here. It'll just be on Twitch. And I can't wait to see what they have in store for us tomorrow night. 8 o'clock Central. Hell yeah. It ain't going to be that late either. We don't have to stay up all night just to watch it. It's going to be pretty early. I'm excited. I can't wait. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Please hit the like if you haven't. Sub if you're not. Sub to Rosee if you're not. And we'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe. And the poor family. I hope people stop accusing the family members. I really do. It's horrible. Love you guys.
Bye, everyone.